Luke, congratulations through to the quarterfinals for the first time here at the World Grand Prix. Not your vintage up there, but just sum it up for us.
Yeah, I think that's probably an understatement. I think that's probably one of the worst performances that scoring-wise, I've probably put up on the TV stage for many years. It wasn't horrific, but I just couldn't. When I was finding the first treble, it weren't following. When I couldn't find it, I couldn't get a treble at all. So yeah, it's one of them games that I probably never watch back. But yeah, I think my doubling in has been fantastic this tournament. And usually that's something that I do worry about. Doubling can be my Achilles heel in moments. But I think over the 5 sets I've played, I've missed one chance to get in. So that is some stat. But I can't combine with good scoring. So if I can put them both together, then I'm a dangerous threat for the tournament. But if I don't, then I'm not going to be long in this tournament. So I'm going to have to put that scoring right for sure.
First time in a long time up there, we saw you berating with yourself and almost playing with your emotions up there. Did you feel it as well?
Yeah, I did. Everyone knows I get frustrated myself. I really did feel frustrated properly. Sometimes everyone sees I get a little bit frustrated and that, but that's I don't let that affect my performance. But yeah, tonight maybe I was very frustrated because I could not get anything going. And people don't understand sometimes when you know what you can do and it's physically not coming out, it's quite hard and it's hard to deal with. And I'm used to being a heavy scorer and I put people under pressure, and tonight I really couldn't find them trebles. So yeah, maybe I was too hard on myself, and maybe that was why I carried on the not scoring very well. We can all I could have accepted a bad first set, but maybe sometimes I'm too hard on myself. But you don't. I'm world number 5. You don't get there if if I'm too hard on myself. You have to be. So yeah, it's just one of them things.
The greats of the game always say it's not what you do with your A game, it's what you do when you're not playing at your best. And the fact that you've come through that 3-0, that must be a huge positive you can take from this game.
Yeah, that's right. I think a lot of the top players seem to win when they're not at their best. And for me to win 3-0, they're really not at my best is one of the things you just have to take a bit of positivity about, because many years ago I probably would have got beat 3-0 there because negativity runs through me sometimes. But I'm a new player now, a different player, and I pulled out the bag at the right moments. I think as much as I didn't play my best at the right ends at the right time, the back end of the sets I really was good. I think the 1-5-9 to leave 32 to win the second set, and I think I did something good in the first set. So yeah, I think at the right moments I was good, but I need to put a whole performance together to challenge for the title.
And how much mental strength did it take being behind in every set and having to win those final 2 legs of the sets?
Yeah, it takes a lot of mental strength, because obviously I felt really flat tonight. I felt really tired, and if Luke would have won that third set, it would have been an uphill battle for me. I think it would have been a struggle because I felt really flat. I couldn't find the treble, and maybe sometimes it just can happen, but obviously tomorrow's a new day, there's another night's rest. We go again, and tomorrow probably be a new day, and I might even play the best I've ever played, so who knows. But yeah, I'm not going to be too negative about the performance. I won, I'm into the next round, and I can put it right tomorrow.
Congratulations, Luke.
Thank you, Phil.
Luke, do you think your recent experience of being in those real pressure moments came to the fore there in those deciding legs?
I do, because at the back end of them sets I really did perform. I hit the right scores at the right time, and even though I felt like I was struggling and I really couldn't find my A game, I couldn't. I think maybe at 1-180, that's really not my style. Usually I'll hit 5 or 6 in a long thing like that. So yeah, that my scoring was probably the worst it's been for a long time, but yeah, I think I showed a lot of resilience to pull out the right scores at the right time, finish at the right time, and to come off at 3-0 is quite flattering, really, because I think it could have been 3-0 to Luke Woodhouse as well.
Do you think we can expect to see the best version of Luke Humphries in the quarterfinals?
I think you'll definitely see a better version than he did tonight, that's for sure. I've not lost a set yet, and I've not performed anywhere near my ability. I think everyone knows that, but when you get to them, I think I perform when I'm under pressure more. So I think next game when I got either my best mate Ryan or Peter Wright, who's one of the greatest players I've ever been, I might kick myself in the butt and be like, yeah, this is when you have to perform. No disrespect to Luke Woodhouse, obviously I expected a tough game and I did, but when you're playing these type of players, and I know how good Ryan is and how good Peter is, you can't be messing about. So yeah, I think that might give me the kick out the butt I need in the next round to pull out my best performances.
Would you like to see Ryan come through that tomorrow?
I mean, of course I will, because he's not just a dart friend. He's one of my closest friends in life. So of course I'd want to see him win, because if I lose to him in the quarterfinals, he's in the semis and I'm not. And if I win and he loses, then he'd be happy to see me in the semis. So obviously for us that's a dream draw. As much as it's not nice to beat each other, it just it means that one of us is going to progress into the competition. So yeah, of course I want to see Ryan win, but he's got a tough game tonight, and if he plays the way he can, which I know he can because I practice him all the time, I do fancy Ryan to win tonight. But of course Peter, you can never write him off.
Cheers.
Thank you.
Look, you alluded to it there. Do you feel like you really need to be pushed to bring out the best of yourself?
I really do. Yeah. Sometimes I feel like when I'm under pressure is when I play my best. Sometimes when I can relax, that's when I play my worst. I think there was a couple of instances where Luke didn't get in and I just couldn't hit a treble then, and as soon as he got in I could hit a treble. I feel like sometimes sometimes you can feel like you're unlucky because everyone plays well against you, but I seem to play my best when people do play well against me. So yeah, maybe that when people are pushing me, that's when I perform at my capabilities and play my the way I can. And I know I'll have to tomorrow, regardless if I play. I'm going to have to be. There's no CB game tomorrow. It has to be A game, or I'll be going home.
You talked about in the previous interview up to number 5 in the world. Number 4 is obviously on the line as well in this tournament. Do you feel like you're playing as well as any of those guys in the top 4?
Yeah, I mean, the last 2 years, I think that I am probably playing at the top 5, top 6 level. As much as sometimes I didn't believe that in myself. I feel like I am playing to that level, that I am maybe a top 8 player for sure now. Like I alluded to, my B game wins me these sort of performances, and usually I would have lost these games. So when I can put my A game in there, I'm probably one of the toughest players in the world to beat, and you wouldn't be unless you're in the top 8. So I feel like if I can come tomorrow, refresh, start again, forget about today, we can see a great performance.
Thanks, Luke.
Thank you.
Luke, you mentioned earlier that you felt a bit flat tonight. You're not the first person to have mentioned that this week. What do you put that down to?
I don't really know, to be honest. I think it's just one of them things that can happen. Like when it's not going your way, you can be too hard on yourself, and it just makes you flat. I think I just felt tired. Nothing can cause that. I don't think I had a bad night's sleep. I've not done anything different. You could just feel flat, and it's happened to me before up there. It happened to me in the Worlds last year. Every game I played, I felt really flat, but I was ill. Now I'm not ill, so it's not nothing to do with that. But it's one of the things that can happen, and I think it's something to do with maybe if things ain't going your way, you just don't feel up for it. I tried fastening up a little bit, trying to play a bit quicker in the third set, but it didn't really change anything. It just wasn't my best performance, but I'm very flattered to win that game from him.
In the next round, it could be a close friend, Ryan Searle. But when you are playing your close friend such a big match, do you prepare differently leading up to that?
Not really, no. I don't think if Ryan wins, then me and Ryan still sit on the same table and still speak to each other like we always do. But obviously we know it's a big game, and we just won't practice with each other. Like today we practice with each other. Everything has stayed the same, but obviously we'll be on separate boards because you can't practice with the person you're playing against. It just don't feel right. But yeah, I really do hope Ryan wins because of course the way Ryan's playing is probably a harder game for me, but I want to see him do well. He wants to see me do well, and we love to play against each other, and we always have a good game, to be fair. So, but hopefully he can get through his game. But if it's Peter, then I know I've got a tough game as well because he's a legend of the sport, one of the greatest ever. So I can't win really. It's going to be a tough game regardless.
You talked today about your world ranking back up to world number 5 now. How big of an achievement is that, considering you've not yet won a major?
Yeah, I think that is probably the greatest achievement. Is I've on my ranking at the moment, it's not even a major final on it. My UK Open finals disappeared. That disappeared in March. So I'm sitting at number 5 in the world without even a ranking final. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but it will happen. I'll make a major final again. It's whether I get it over the line. But a lot of people pressure me into thinking you've got to win it now. I'll win it when when I have to. I'm not in no rush. If I do it in 6 years' time, if it's Sunday, it'll be when it'll be. very lucky, very privileged to be in this sport and get to earn great money and support my family and stuff. And I just love being in this
It's a
environment.
bit like Michael Smith in that sense, where everybody was saying it is just a matter of time now before he does get over the line.
I can guarantee you, I will walk away from this sport one day being a major champion. That is no question. But it might not happen this year, it might happen next year, it might happen in 5 years. But it will happen one day. I just know it. I know I've got the ability to do it. You know, I can't guarantee that it will happen, but in my own mind, I believe it will happen. But it's just a matter of time. You know, when you win the first, that you become unstoppable. And I think, you know, Michael Smith showed that when he won that Grand Slam, he went on to lift the biggest title there is. And you know, he's a great world champion, great world number one. And I assure you, he will win a lot more major titles. So, you know, if I could pick up my first, then you know, I can see the floodgates open.
Cheers, Luke. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Cheers.